Winning in the NBA requires sacrifice, even more so for a team such as the Cleveland Cavaliers, whose overlapping skills in the starting lineup have given them a handful of growing pains to overcome throughout the last 2 years. From two non-shooting bigs in the front court to a star backcourt featuring two ball-dominant guards in Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Despite this, the Cavs' core four has found much success together. There's plenty of reason to think this is a long-term fit that can lead to a ton of winning in the future. But unlocking their full potential is still an ongoing process. I want to focus today's video on the Mitchell and Garland pairing, specifically on how Garland has gradually adapted his game to fit Cleveland's evolving offense. The Cavaliers are attempting a franchise record 37 three-pointers per game, and most of this has been a result of building around Donovan Mitchell and maximizing his skill set. Mitchell has always been at his best when he is manning a run-and-gun offense, so Cleveland went out and surrounded him with three-point shooting talent over the summer. New additions like Max Strus and Georges Niang, alongside a revitalized Dean Wade and a hidden gem in Sam Merrill, has given Mitchell an arsenal deep enough to transform the Cavaliers' offense. The Cavs have gone from 27th in three-point attempts all the way to 8th in the NBA this season. Mitchell has accepted the challenge of being a more well-rounded playmaker in order to make this happen. He has grown from being just a high-volume gunslinger to an elite floor general, using his scoring as a threat to generate openings for his teammates at a career-high rate. Mitchell is having his best season as a playmaker, and his control of the offense helped the Cavaliers decimate their competition from December to February, while Darius Garland was on the sideline due to a broken jaw. Once Garland did return to the floor, it was time for him to fit into Mitchell's world, a challenge that Garland has gradually been accepting since Mitchell first joined the team in 2022. Because in order for this duo to succeed, both players have to make sacrifices. Mitchell has completed his side of the deal by becoming a more selfless playmaker, while Garland has looked to improve as an off-ball player and adapt his style to match the type of three-point oriented attack that Mitchell has established as the bar for success with this team. Garland has had to make two key changes to his game since Mitchell arrived. First, Garland had to accept fewer touches to make room for his new running mate. He has accomplished this, with Garland's on-ball touches down by more than 10 per game since the 2021 season, the year before Mitchell joined the roster. Even this current season, Garland has managed to decrease his touches by 4 per game, another sacrifice for a player who has spent his entire basketball career, from childhood to the pros, dominating the ball as an elite player. While this hasn't been a seamless transition and Garland has struggled along the way, he is slowly but surely finding ways to be effective without the ball. More than 45% of Garland's field goals have been assisted this season. That's nearly 10% more than the year before and marks a new career high. In addition to playing more off the ball, Garland has had to adjust his playmaking style, and he has done his best to contribute to this team's uptick in three-point shooting. From making a conscious effort to generate opportunities to lighting it up from downtown himself. Darius is third in the NBA for three-pointers made since the All-Star break, on the highest percentage of anyone to attempt at least 100 three-pointers, and he is first in pull-up three-point shooting. He is now bordering on career highs in three-point attempts and three-point percentage, though he will likely fall just short of passing those marks due to his slow start to the season. As for his playmaking, three-point shots have accounted for 35% of Garland's assists. This is a 10% increase from the year before and the highest mark since his rookie season. Generating three-point shots is more difficult for a player like DG, who lacks size, elite athleticism, and the ability to apply pressure on the rim. Most teams won't collapse their defense to stop Garland from getting ahead of steam to the basket, which means defensive breakdowns and passing lanes to the perimeter don't open as often for someone like DG. It's more likely an opponent will trust one defensive big in drop coverage to contain Garland's drive.
The push for ball movement and body movement, I think that's something Miguel still is continuing to figure out.
Garland, that low dribble, kept it on his hip, turns it over.
Garland is an elite dump-off passer who has never really established a drive and kick game. Compare this to Mitchell, who gets to the rim in his sleep and generates 45% of his assists on 3-point field goals. Opponents will absolutely collapse their defense in order to wall off Mitchell's attacks. And while he isn't much taller than DG, Mitchell has the strength and athleticism to make some truly incredible passes. Mitchell can put so much zip on these passes, whereas Garland just isn't capable of mustering up that same force. Again, that ability to drive and kick is a special talent from Mitchell and is a key component to Cleveland's success this season. Garland's physical limitations might put a ceiling on what he can and can't do when compared to Mitchell, but a recent 27-point, 11-assist performance against the New Orleans Pelicans showed the culmination of Garland's development. This was vintage DG, dicing up a defense and making it look easy, only this classic performance happened within the construct of Cleveland's new style. Garland was masterful with his control of the tempo, making quick decisions and burying New Orleans from deep. Cavaliers attempted 45 three-pointers against the Pelicans, 22 of which were generated directly by Garland. The Cavs rely on their backcourt to lead the charge offensively. If Donovan is making unselfish plays and Darius is appropriately controlling their shot diet, then the Cavaliers will be a scary team to face in the playoffs for the foreseeable future.